Welcome to the second channel. This is gonna be a different kind of video. We're gonna read through the comments on some of the worst comments that we've got. We always get a lot of nice comments on the channel. I think my audience is really genuinely probably one of the nicest audiences out there.
Yeah.
But when we get the mean comments, it's pretty freaking awesome. And I'm not gonna lie, some of these comments had me laughing for probably 5 minutes straight. So I think we should get started with some of the best comments on the channel. We got a bunch of your comments here, and this is good. So on the Noble, this guy says, when are you actually gonna finish this shit? So I mean, it runs, it's gonna be finished one day. You know, I mean, when you're putting all the parts on a car and it's something you can buy from the store, it's pretty easy to do. But as you've figured out, this car is not easy to work on.
Yeah, you can't just go on Rock Auto and buy the car.
One day I'm gonna finish this shit.
You'll never finish.
I'll probably never finish this.
No, you'll finish. All right, here's a good one from Davey. He said,
Oh, Davey.
yellow RX-7 is just heart face emojis. All right, I gotta say something about this one. I don't want a school bus.
But that was a nice comment, though.
It was a nice comment, but I can't paint anything yellow. Sorry, it's not my taste.
It's a cheese wagon.
Yeah.
It's you know.
It is a cheese.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So here we go. I got a good one here. This is about my Supra interior, and this is Jesus. Interior color is whack. Gray would have been better.
Millennial gray.
Dude, gray? Out of all colors, gray? Come on, Jesus. Put some color in your life.
It's the world we live in now. Everything's gray.
I could not do that. Okay, I'm sorry. The brown looks amazing. I don't care what you guys think. At least Jesus. I don't care what you think, Jesus. Here's a great one. This is probably my favorite one yet. I have a right-hand drive Supra, and this offends a lot of people.
Trash.
It's hilarious. Yes. I am the poorest of Supra owners.
Oh, yeah, you don't have 100K in parts in your car. You can't afford anything.
Yeah, I can't afford a left-hand drive Supra. So Max says to me, he says, all this for a right-hand drive Supra. Gay.
Ha! Gay!
Well, Max, you're gay.
He's probably that nice lady.
Yeah, you know.
All right, this one's about your Supra too. It's pretty funny. You should name the Supra Lambo for the Green Bay Packers. All right, this hits me because I'm from Wisconsin. And I'm a Packers fan because that's what I grew up with. His Supra is green and gold. When someone commented that, I mentioned it before they commented it, and then they commented the same day, and it made me giggle inside.
It's got yellow
pretty funny.
calipers, and it's green on the outside. But by no means anywhere is those colors close. That's for all you colorblind dudes out there that think the green and the yellow are the same. They're not the same. They're not the same. The yellow is way darker, it's more orange, and the green is flat. It's metallic. Like, this is not even close.
It's the same.
Brian has been a huge help around the shop, been in a bunch of videos, always give him thanks in the videos. But the one video that you weren't in recently, because I was painting the car and doing interior, this guy says, poor Brian, 1 mention versus 1,000 thank yous for Matt. Here. Thank you.
Man,
Thank you,
need
Brian.
to treat me better.
That's it. Take your car out of here.
Yeah. Motor Union. He said, a 2JZ with an automatic transmission, you should just buy a Corolla. Hashtag chicken. The disrespect. I
terrible.
have a Camry.
Exactly.
Better than a Corolla.
It's an upgrade, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was a good one, though. That's
And
really
what does
good.
a 2JZ with an auto have anything to do with a Corolla?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. So, whatever, man. Like you said, he has a Camry.
Whether it's a daily driver or one of the really nice cars that we've been building here in the shop, we've been adding dash cameras as a second layer of protection to make sure that we catch everything that happens on the road so there's no excuses just in case of emergency. And after seeing the things that we've seen over the last couple of months, it's honestly become one of the easiest upgrades to recommend. We've had everything from accidents and near misses, and having video footage adds another layer of protection every time you go behind the wheel. That's one reason that we've been installing the F7NA in everybody's vehicle. The front camera records true 4K using a Sony Starvis 2 IMX678 sensor, and the image quality is impressive. You can clearly make out license plates, road signs, and details that can be critical if something happened. As you can see in comparison, the left side shows natural color reproduction with true 4K clarity, offering higher sharpness and rich detail, making license plates much easier to read. It also does a great job in different lighting condition. HDR helps balance bright areas, dark areas, and nighttime footage stays surprisingly clear. You've also got a rear camera recording in 1080p, so you're covered from both directions. When you need footage, the built-in 5.8 gigahertz Wi-Fi lets you connect directly through the app and download the clips quickly to your phone. The touchscreen interface is easy to use, whether switching camera views or adjusting settings. So whether you're driving across town or commuting daily, it's one more layer of protection that's there when you need it. So if you want to pick up a Red Tiger F7NA, go ahead, click the link in my description, use the code on the screen, and get yourselves protected today. Now, let's get back to the video.
This one's not really like a mean comment, but it's kind of like he wants to see me fail. It says, Jack is removing the back glass right now. Somehow I want it to explode. I'm gonna leave some space for an edit after he removes it. Edit, glass survived, 10 out of 10 video. I mean, he's giving me a 10 out of 10, but he's like, break your $1,000 glass because I want to see this.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
I'm not a rich YouTuber if you guys didn't know this. I'm pretty broke. I spend all my money on these cars. So this is one of my favorite things that I see commented quite frequently. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I think a lot of you do. We're building cars that nobody else is building because it's extremely hard to build and it takes time, especially when you're doing the style of build that we do. Your progress is slow. Could you speed it up a bit?
Can you give me a lifetime supply of Adderall and Red Bull?
Yes. This shit takes a long time.
Yeah.
Like, these cars are ridiculously bad. I don't think anybody on YouTube would choose these cars that I choose. And there's a reason, because I'm probably retarded.
I don't know if you know this, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know if you know the Joe Rogan.
I'm kind of retarded.
What? Question mark? 2JZ and an RX-7. WTF is the point of building an FD if you want to use 2JZ? Sell the shell and buy an S13. I closed the video as soon as you used a 2JZ.
We should put the prices of an S13 up on the screen right now.
Yeah, did you know an S13 is like the same price as a shell of an FD now?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
So why would I use that?
Dude, so number one, find a clean S13. Show me one that's clean, that's not rusted out in the apron area. Find a clean FD. It's impossible to find. They all cost a lot of money. They're all going up in price. All of these cars will bring money. One person is going to love it. Somebody's going to love the car. I just can't believe you would do that.
I'm going to love the car. Who cares what everyone else thinks?
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Why would I want to do something to my own car?
Just get an
The way I
S13.
want it. Yeah.
I'll see you guys at episode 200. Maybe then the car will be done. We're on episode 20 something now, okay? It's only like 20 episodes, right?
How
but
dare you.
we built a whole car, people. He's probably not wrong. He's probably not wrong.
I can't watch anymore. The whole idea of an RX-7 is the weight distribution advantages that come with a 13B. You may as well put an LS in it. At least it's a good sound.
Oh
So
my
a
goodness.
2JZ sounds worse than an LS?
I mean, if you watch the latest video, even if my car is restricted to 5,000 RPM right now, and it still sounds really good. I'm not knocking an LS, because those sound great too. I actually like the sound of an LS. A 2J sounds just as good, if not better.
The reason I went 2JZ in that car is because of the epic sound of a 2JZ coming out of the way that car looks.
I mean,
I wouldn't ruin it with an LS sound. I can't say I'd just buy a Corvette at that point, because someone could say I'd just buy a Supra at that point. But someone's actually commented that. Why not just buy a Supra? Guess what? I have a Supra. And I'm still doing this.
So joke's on you. But wait, now you have two Supras.
Yeah, but two reliable 2JZ cars is what I want.
Speaking of Supra, I got a good one. This is great. This is from 96 Supra Twin Turbo. Well, TT. It says, perfect Supra? Really? Question mark. As a multiple Mark IV Supra twin turbo owner and invested in the Mark IV Supra community since they were sold new, this is by far the worst interior I've ever seen. Diarrhea brown and trim. Multiple pore fitting floors for carpets. Yikes! That said, I'm glad it's a right-hand drive model, which no one cares that you ruin it. No third world right-hand drive Supra is anywhere near perfect in a left-hand drive country. People buy right-hand drive Supras because they can't afford left-hand drive Supras. Money wasted building up a right-hand drive would have been better spent saving for a left-hand drive Supra. My sir, my good sir.
You peasant.
I really want to blur something out right now. But I can't. So just imagine this. Read between the lines, my good friend.
This guy says a lot, but at the end he said, at least it isn't a K24. I agree.
Really bad rotary. If you would have gone K24, or if you would have gone 2J, it's still 1,000 times better than a rotary.
Here's the thing. People will say a 600 horsepower car with that weight is a great car. And I agree.
Probably not
to
bad.
an extent, but I've been ruined by fast cars. And if you have a 1,000 horsepower car with Motec traction control, you can't beat it. There's
Yep.
nothing better.
I've seen the
There
way
is
you
nothing
drive.
better. Got a heavy foot.
You gotta have your foot. Gonna blow yourself to pieces.
I need two.
I'll take two nitrous bottles. This is a good one right here, because I might have been this guy in a former life. Not into all the gaudy gold titanium, but it's your car. Were you an Iraqi dictator in a previous life? Why do I gotta be Iraqi? You know, all kinds of brown people like gold, I'm just saying, and white people too. So I might have been a white guy in my former life that sold gold to people.
So obviously this came up with a lot of controversy of using a piston engine in a rotary chassis, and I get it. Okay, I won't call it an RX anymore. I'll call it a 2J7. How about that? This guy says 2JZ, no. 20B or 26B, why waste a perfectly good rotary? Let me tell you, Caboose Duplessis.
Caboose Duplessis.
If you can give me unlimited amount of money and time, I will put a rotary in this. But I don't have either of those. So I'm gonna save myself time and money and put a 2JZ.
Why not just waste $40,000, man?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You know,
We're rich YouTubers.
I have a good friend with a 20B, and he's sunk a lot of money into it, like 40K into it. I don't want to sink 40K into my car.
Just the engine.
Just the long block.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of money. When you stack rotors on top of each other, the eccentric shaft just gets longer and longer. And when you put a lot of power into some long eccentric shaft, it bends, right? And then the corner of your seals wipe out. And then you just deal with all that money. Gone. I don't want to deal with that.
Just spend your money, Brian. Stop crying.
Yeah. Here's one from Stayin' Tuned. I would like to keep it 50-50 weight distribution. Proceeds to throw a heavier and longer engine in it.
But that's why we're moving it back. They're being mean to us. Does that mean we can be mean back to them? I stopped watching as soon as I heard piston engine.
Yeah, I read that one too. That was
Because it is a Mazda RX-7, which means rotary experimental, right? 7.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Is it still an RX-7 without a rotary? Because this guy here says, not an RX-7 without a rotary. What is it then? It's a Miata. You own a Miata now.
Yeah, a 2J. Might as well just 2J swap a Miata.
A Miata 7.
A Miata 7. This guy says a 20B turbo would have added so much more value. How does that make sense? So if you have a car with all the right parts, it's gonna devalue the car? No, it's not.
Yeah, Brian.
Gonna have a built 2JZ making 1,000 horsepower with Motec, and you're gonna tell me it's gonna devalue it if I don't put a rotary in it? No, it's not. And I'm not gonna sell it anyways.
Here's a special viewer to you.
All right.
So this is a special viewer to Brian. Probably one of my favorite comments on this video. It says, as his wife, I don't care if it's a 2J or a rotary. just as long as all of the parts are out of the spare bedroom soon.
Yes.
I think that's every car guy's wife's problem, is that we put our parts everywhere and there's no room anymore. The spare room is our room because we need to put somewhere we hoard parts. It's what we do.
Especially in Florida, because we don't have basements down here.
No.
And we used to have a basement in Wisconsin.
Well, the thing is,
And
you can't
then-
leave it in the garage either if it's like sensitive.
Yeah.
It's just gonna
if
get-
it's
the humidity's gonna
electronics and
destroy
stuff,
it.
you can't throw it in there and just leave it in a tote. I have a whole room dedicated. I shouldn't say this because someone's going to find out where I live and just take all my stuff.
All I gotta say is, Haley, that was awesome.
Yes. And I commented back to that. I can't remember what I said.
Let me
Something
see.
like if
If I went with a rotary, it would be in the parts room forever.
yes, it would be a parts room forever if I bought a rotary.
Oh, that's awesome.
So this guy says, why not dry sump the engine and remove the oil pan issue? You are correct. It would make it higher with a dry sump and I could lower the engine more. But problem is two things. The cost of a dry sump. My cost would be $6,000 minimum. And I would love to do a dry sump because I think that's important when you're cornering. I don't need to on this car, to be honest. I might buy the new oil pan that Jay Marr from RS Garage.
Me?
So it adds 8 quarts of oil instead of just
Love you,
the
Jay.
normal 5.5, 6. We love you, Jay. The problem I don't want is the lower pan to stick lower than the subframe, and I don't have a problem with the upper pan at all clearing the subframe. The dry sump oil pan wouldn't really be a benefit to me.
Tomato, tomato.
I'm not going to lower it even more because then my trans is going to be lower. It's kind of one of those things like it won't really benefit me. All right, here's a good one. So this is a story. It's going to take me a while to read this. Let me zoom in. I'm pretty blind. I've yet to meet someone who can actually use or appreciate a 50-50 weight distribution street car with 1,000 horsepower. People aren't road racing these things like this, and even if it touches a road course at some point, the difference between 48-52 and 50-50 isn't going to matter at all. This shit is going to rot in a garage for 99.9% of the rest of its life because it's rich people, YouTube, LEGO, not actual car culture.
Oh my gosh.
Don't get me wrong, it's a great build and Jack does incredible work, but the whole oh my god 50-50 weight distribution and all that nonsense is just bench racer buzzword soup. It doesn't matter at all. This car came out of an 18-year of an abandonment to be turned into something undriven a kid 50 years from now will find in a shipping container as he runs from the Altman bots trying to kill him.
That guy was mad.
50 years from now, the bots are going to try to kill us. So he's not wrong about that.
Listen.
That's actually pretty funny.
You kind of contradicted yourself a little bit there because you said that it's going to spend 99% of its life in a garage undriven. But right now, at this point, this car is 33 years old and it's already spent most of its life in a garage taken apart undriven because it was sitting for 18 years. And you actually mentioned that. So it's on you. It's actually going to get built and driven way more. This car is going to be at least driven 51% of the time that
Yes.
it's been.
And if it does end up in a shipping container, I hope the ship sinks so then nobody else gets it. RX-7 ruined.
That's a good one.
Short and sweet. You lost me. I raced the 13B and this is a slap. It ain't no RX-7 anymore.
No, it's not a rotary experimental. It is now a Miata.
No 13B, just another Supra build, really.
Well, guys, this has been fun. I love reading your comments. I read every single comment. I laugh every single time there's somebody who hates something I do because most of the time they comment back again because they're still watching. And it's cool. It's okay. I get it. Everybody has their own opinions. Everybody builds what they want to build. Brian wants to build a Miata. I want to build a football-themed Supra. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This is the second channel. We're going to put a lot more videos like this, different things, exploring things that we love here on this channel. One of the things we're going to start showing you guys is skills learned. That's going to happen very soon. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.